Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you guys. So you may be wondering, why is Matt Barnes on your screen that you're watching this video on? Well, he had some things to say about Cooper Flagg and the draft lottery that landed the Mavericks Cooper Flagg. And Matt Barnes, well-known Mavericks villain who now hosts a podcast with Steven Jackson and is, I would say, a pretty popular figure here in NBA media, had this to say on Cooper Flagg and the draft lottery. Somehow, some way, that was a favor because Dallas wasn't a bad team. They shouldn't have been the number one team to get the pick. On the flip side, it's so important as a young player to go to an organization that's stable, has vets and great leadership, which the Mavericks do. The ownership of the Dallas Mavericks has to show now that their job is not to F it up because they've done some questionable things in their short time after taking over from Mark Cuban. I want to start by saying this. I hated Matt Barnes when he was on the We Believe Warriors. Obviously, the 67-win Dallas Mavericks lost to Matt Barnes in the Dubs in the 2007 playoffs, and I've never liked him since. But I gotta say, I do kind of enjoy his podcast with Steven Jackson because those are two guys in the league where you hated them if they weren't on your team and you loved them if they were on your team. So I think it's a little bit of a double-edged sword there, and he is not afraid to say what he thinks about the current NBA and whatever it is, whether it's ownerships, whether it's players, whether it's whatever the case may be. Matt Barnes isn't afraid. And I just want to say this as well. Like, conspiracy theories are fun and we all have them. Like, we're all victim to the conspiracy theory of things being rigged or games being fixed. The draft lottery was not rigged. You can say what you will. Was it an incredible stroke of luck? Nick Lopez is laughing at me in the producer cam, by the way. What you can say it's an incredible stroke of luck. You can say it's a 1 in a million chance. And yeah, it really was. I mean, the Mavericks had a 1.8% chance of winning the lottery, and they happened to get the correct number combination. You can see the lottery being done by Ernst & Young. You can go on the NBA's official website and see this. Like, it wasn't rigged. It was incredibly lucky that the Mavericks ended up with Cooper Flagg after the blunder that we don't even need to discuss right now. And yeah, it was a move by a bad actor, Nico Harrison, who got very, very lucky when he destroyed the Mavericks franchise and then in a span of 4 months was handed it back by winning the lottery and being able to select a generational talent in Cooper Flagg. So I do not think that it was rigged. I do not think that the draft lottery was fixed. But I do think Matt Barnes had some good points. Like, it is on Mavericks ownership and front office at this point to get the best out of Cooper Flagg, get the best out of this situation, and return the Mavericks to their rightful spot as a contender in the Western Conference where they have been for the better part of 25 years. It has not all been sunshines and roses since Mark Cuban sold this team a year and a half ago. And look, this ownership group in front office has a lot of work to do to earn back the trust of the fans. And it starts by putting Cooper Flagg in the best environment possible in order for him to succeed early and succeed often in this Dallas Mavericks situation, which I absolutely think he can do. You can say what you will about Nico, say what you will about Dumont and the Adelsons. I think it is in their best interest if they do what's right by Cooper Flagg and try to get him around a lot of winning pieces, a lot of vets that know what they're doing in this league, and they're going to be able to hopefully take this team back to the next level. I'll ask again, though. I feel like I've asked this about 10 times here on the show since it happened on May 11th, May 12th, whatever it was. Was the NBA draft lottery rigged? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Today's pinned comment on the show. May get hit with an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. While that happens, go on down there and let me know. Whether it's rigged or not, I'm just extremely excited to see Cooper Flagg play basketball in a couple of weeks for the Mavs. Training camp at the end of September, first preseason game the first week in October, and then the third week in October, we're playing some real NBA basketball. The Mavericks and the San Antonio Spurs for the third straight season. We get to see Victor Wembanyama for the third straight season on opening night as well. And I'm really just curious to see how his progression goes throughout the season. I expect him to have early struggles. I expect him to maybe not be quite up to the speed of NBA regular season basketball right away. And if he is, then that's even better. I do think there's going to be a bit of an adjustment period, as there is for every rookie that steps into this league, unless your name is LeBron James, where you come in right away and you're a top 10 player in the league. I do think that you're going to see a bit of that from Cooper Flagg, but hopefully after, the first half of the season into the second half of the year when the games really start mattering, that he hasn't figured out, and he's able to contribute extremely positively to this Mavericks winning brand of basketball that they're trying to play. I think he's going to be a winning player regardless, even when he first steps into the league, just because the defense is so good and the motor is so good that he'll be able to contribute in that aspect. But I'm talking about the counting numbers, the points, the rebounds, the assists. It may take a second before we see that at a super high level. Speaking of the season, just around the corner, man. We are 6 weeks away. Yeah, 6 weeks away from Mavs basketball being played at the AAC. First 5 games at home, by the way. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be covering it all throughout the 25-26 NBA season with the latest on Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Nico Harrison, Mark Cuban, and more. YouTube.com/MavsTV is the place to find it. Cooper Flagg, I think, has a very, very high floor as a basketball player, which is why I'm not super worried if he struggles out of the gate. He has elite traits that make him a generational talent in this NBA sphere that we live in right now. Elite defensive versatility. A guy who's 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan, he can guard point guards through fours, and if teams are playing small ball fives, he can probably guard them too. He can get downhill offensively and use his big frame to move smaller guys out of the way and get to his spots wherever he wants to. That's something I think he'll be able to develop more as well as he gets more of a feel for what the NBA offensive game looks like. And he has great positional awareness on both ends of the floor. He knows exactly where to be. He doesn't need a coach yelling at him to get out of a space or move into a space. He knows exactly where he has to be. And he's an absolute gym rat. Like, the Mavericks have literally had to lock him out of the gym at some points this summer so he doesn't work himself to death because he just loves being in the gym and loves hooping so much. And at the end of the day, he just makes winning plays. Like, we even saw it in the summer league against the Los Angeles Lakers, where he really didn't play a very good game against the Lakers, but at the end of the game, he made a steal, made a block. That ended up being the difference in the ball game. And yeah, it's a summer league game that doesn't matter as far as wins and losses go, but it's nice to see that he's competitive in whatever environment you put him in. And yeah, he had an okay summer league, I would say. He had a very good game against the Spurs in that second game where he ended up with 31 points and 10 of 21 from the field. But that Laker game where he was just 5 of 21 from the field, couldn't make a three-point shot, still ended up with 3 assists, I believe a block as well, 6 boards. So he finds ways to affect the game even when his offensive game really isn't there. And that is a super encouraging sign if you're a Mavericks fan that he's a very advanced player for his age. This guy doesn't turn 19 until like the middle of December. And the fact that he's already playing at this level should give you extreme optimism about what Cooper Flagg can be for this Dallas Mavericks team. And it's not just my optimism. The boys out in the desert also think Cooper Flagg is going to run away with NBA Rookie of the Year, where he is a heavy, heavy favorite at minus 225, followed by Tre Johnson. Shout out Tre Johnson. Shout out the Longhorns. At plus 800, he comes in at 2. VJ Edgecombe, Dylan Harper, and Ace Bailey round out the top 5. But basically, if Flagg doesn't win Rookie of the Year given these odds, I think it would be kind of a disappointment if he didn't end up doing so. He's good. He's in the best situation of all of those guys. The Mavericks are a playoff team. They are a team that should immediately contend. And with Cooper Flagg's help, he's going to elevate this squad into what they would be without him. So I absolutely believe that it would be a disappointment if Flagg did not win Rookie of the Year. Speaking of Flagg, you can go grab his jersey right now at chatsports.com/Flagg. That's where you can find it. Go get them before they run out. We have multiple colors, multiple sizes available. Chatsports.com/Flagg. That link will be in the comments and description of today's show. We appreciate y'all. And if you want to support the channel, you can go get yourself a Cooper Flagg jersey today. I got to imagine you're going to see quite a lot of them around the DFW area. Cooper Flagg's rookie contract being drafted number 1 overall looks like this. He's going to make $13.8 million this year, which is crazy because I believe rookie contracts, like just even 5 years ago, you were less than $10 million per season. I think Luka's rookie deal, he was at less than $10 million, especially in the first season. 14.5, 15.2, 19.1, so on and so forth. But what's going to be crazy is these extensions that come along. Flagg is going to make himself a lot of money here in the next couple of years if everything pans out the way that it should. If he plays his cards right, he could literally become the first NBA player to make over $1 billion in NBA contracts alone. Not just from endorsements, not from other streams of income. Literally on NBA contracts, Cooper Flagg could make over $1 billion in his NBA career. His projected extensions right now, and this is obviously subject to change given the collective bargaining agreements and what may happen between now and then, but as of right now, his rookie max extension is expected to be $359 million. If he plays well enough and is able to be in that tier where he's able to get a supermax deal, he can make $509 million on that contract extension, which, if you're doing the math, in 2034, Cooper Flagg could make over $900 million as a member of the Dallas Mavericks, and he'd just be entering his prime at that point. He could be a billionaire in the league, and yeah, it's all good and well that he can make all this money and he can win all these individual awards. I just pray that Cooper Flagg can bring this team a title. We need it more than oxygen. I want to be that kid who was a freshman in high school in 2011 when the Mavericks raised the Larry O.B. against the Miami Heat. I want to be that kid again, and I want to be celebrating in the streets of Dallas with all of you guys, seeing the Mavs hoist another Larry O'Brien and having a badass parade, beers chugging everywhere. I want that more than anything in life, so please, Cooper, bring us the title home to Dallas. If you're excited for Cooper Flagg, excited for the Mavs, spam his jersey number 32 down there in the comment section. I cannot freaking wait. It's closer than you think, and Media Day will be at the end of the month, and then exhibitions, and then the real thing begins. Come along to the ride with us at youtube.com/MavsTV because we're going to have you covered from start to finish with all things Dallas Mavericks right here on the channel. We'll see you guys soon.